I love what you do.
Me and my mama, I'm talking about elementary school car ride.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Now?
Oh, you just made me senior citizen now. But thank you. Yo, man, there you go. There you go. There you go.
I'm what people say.
You know what? Listen, y'all gotta stop that. Y'all gotta stop that.
Everybody done said that.
Everybody done said
God,
it.
come on, man. That's your slogan, man.
Well, but you know, you can say hi. You can just say hi.
OG, you know I rock with you.
Man, thank you, man. As busy as you are. Luke, you know this boy right here?
He'll stop.
Man,
He'll stop.
he's hilarious. Yo, man, what's up, boy?
My boy.
What's up, man? Come on into the crib.
Something smell good.
What's happening, boy?
Taste buds.
One of the dopest actors in the game.
Everybody
One of
taste
the
buds is all
dopest
over.
actors in the game.
My God, you look good though.
Thank you.
When's the last time you worked out? Been a long time, huh?
Last night I worked later at work. Look at
Ain't no hospital.
be on a little bit of camera.
Hey, I feel you.
You look good, boy.
I'm trying to stay in shape, you know what I'm saying? Get the dad body going. Chef?
Chef Sean.
That's a goddamn hot pepper. Man, him friend.
Bro,
I'm gonna be real. I'm from the west side of Atlanta. Who eat hot peppers? It's 98 degrees outside. Why would you give me a hot pepper?
It's spicy?
That's a little tangy.
Listen, man.
Little tiny.
why would you pick it up?
I need 2 more eats.
Oh!
What's up with it?
What's up,
Hey,
kid?
the man is
It's a good mixture of people.
We got slave plates.
Thank you, kid.
Nah, man.
What?
We got slave
Man, you
plates.
one of the funniest boys on the planet.
Imagine, man.
He's
Down
gonna
by
say
the
funniest
riverside.
niggas.
Oh, man, you remember that song?
Yeah. Like, man,
know what type of dip this is.
I still listen to it. Nah.
It's an honor to have you, man.
Nah, I appreciate you. You know we couldn't say, I can't say no to you, man.
Well, you're a great talent. You're a super great talent, man.
Vegan.
Show them what you got. Show them what you got.
Got some delicious wilted
Yes,
ham.
chef.
Okay.
Let me get out.
Got some bona fide vegan
Now,
oxtail,
watch this.
especially for you.
You do have an African American man that's a vegan.
That's a rare.
I've never met one
That's a
before in
rare.
my life.
I think it's the second one.
I've never met one before in my life.
Yeah,
You're like
man.
a rare species.
I'm from the country though, so I ate rabbit and
See?
squirrel.
You
So
eat
I ate so much.
Yeah, I ain't
I
never
don't
seen no
experience out
vegan
of meat.
oxtail.
Me neither. I ain't even. So that's
We've
vegan.
got-
You know, butter or nothing. Everything vegan.
Yeah, everything vegan.
That is a cool fucking setup for that shit, bro. My goodness, I'm gonna remember this. Look at this real quick, mama. Look at the chef, little pots right here. These motherfuckers fire. Them motherfuckers are tough though.
Meat ever been cooked in that
Listen
pan?
to me. It's just for you. We're not playing.
Okay, yeah. Oh man, I appreciate
That's
it.
for you. We eat nothing.
So wait a minute.
Yeah, I know.
I came vegan like 2015.
For no reason.
So you ain't never cheated.
Huh?
In 10 years, you never cheated.
Nah.
You ain't never
I ain't
had.
gonna lie.
You put me on vegan noodles. I ain't even know they had vegan noodles.
You ain't never had like wolf.
Noodles was vegan.
So you never went and had chicken back after you was done? Oh, I still want to have some chicken.
AI writes my copy in seconds, but resizing a video still takes 3 tools and a mild breakdown. Introducing
Like I be.
You tripping. That's why you stop.
I be looking at chicken videos.
That's real discipline, though.
You watch chicken
I
video.
watch chicken videos. Lemon pepper. I watch.
I just
Oh,
got back
I
on
just
the
thought
chicken.
you watched videos of
I just
chicken.
got back on the chicken.
That's
Best
crazy.
decision of my life.
Yeah.
Best decision of my
So
life.
man, y'all man, just get whatever you want, man. Just get in, get down.
I'm so hungry.
I'm just trying to figure out what we can eat.
So man, right before we eat, which one of you brothers would like to bless the food?
Go on
We're
ahead,
gonna
pray.
pray.
Go on
Good
ahead.
Lord, thank you for everyone's taste buds.
Close your eyes, Lou. Close your eyes.
For the vegans, for the non-vegans.
Yes.
Let this food be for the reason of the season. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
This is
Season
right
of the
here.
season with no season.
Season for the season is the vegans.
So man, I got one first question I want to ask y'all as we get down. I want to know, what is the biggest myth that society has about black fathers that we're sick and tired of, that you want to address and be able to let know that it is the biggest myth ever about black fathers?
That we ain't there. I'm about to say.
I'm just gonna say that we deadbeats.
We might not be there. We be across the street, grandma's house, something. Like,
We down the street.
might not be in the house.
Fact of the matter is, studies show that black fathers are the most present in their kids' lives.
Really?
Your talk now.
That's beautiful.
Amongst all demographics.
Wow.
On top of that, single fathers have a higher graduation rate and lower incarceration rate than single moms and dual family households combined. That is a fact.
They ain't gonna like that.
So if
That's beautiful.
amongst all demographics.
Wow.
On top of that, single fathers have a higher graduation rate and lower incarceration rate than single moms and dual family households combined. That is a fact.
They ain't gonna like that.
So if you were raised in a
graduated
house,
before the check, so and I'm
so you know.
So then with those stats really being relevant now, where is this myth still continuing to come from, you think?
Narratives. Think about it, right? We all watch TV. Everything that we consume comes from either through a phone, TV, or film, right? There are people who have agendas, right? And part of that agenda is creating a separation between men and women in our communities. It's always been that way. It is a fact. We can't act like it's not the case. It is the case. The easiest way to disturb the distribution of black wealth from generation to generation is to eliminate the nuclear family. How do you eliminate the nuclear family? You take the father out the home. So if you want to show a race of people, right, who are dysfunctional, you constantly show them on TV in one way, which means when you have producers who are creating shows, who's going to be the villain? The black guy. Who the rapist? The black guy. Who the absentee father? The black guy. Because they get to choose those things.
I think people in pain speak louder than people in peace. So people don't have a father. Like when you get cut with something, you're gonna holler. But when you're okay, you're gonna walk and float. So I think people who don't have that, they speak louder and they take that. It's like some of the things more popular in the culture ain't that lucrative. And some of the things that, the opposite. So I think that's what it is. I think it gets out there because that's the loudest thing.
Do you ever have something that you have to reshape even in the thinking of your kids when it comes to a father? Like, does it frustrate you sometimes when it may come across like you don't put in the same amount of work as maybe like their mom or like their grandparents? Like, do you feel like sometimes you have to defend your position?
I think with parenthood it comes with, it's a learning experience. Nobody really have all the answers.
Facts.
And even we all fathers, and everybody can take note to this. We'll learn from each other when we see something do. When we see one do with a child, you like, I'm gonna try that with my child.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
You know what? I be on my phone too much. I like how you interact with your child. Let me put my phone down.
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, we have to look for things that can make us better fathers instead of looking at the narratives that's put out there, because we don't really know. We're trying to do something more that we didn't have when we was coming up.
Yes.
My father wasn't a bad father. Nobody has the real definition of what true love or what true fatherhood is.
That's a fact.
So if that was his love language, I'm gonna sit here and say he did that well. No matter if I looked at the other person, I'm like, dang, well, I wish my daddy did that. Hey, but your daddy is doing this.
So your dad was there.
Yes, my daddy was there.
Was your dad there?
My father was there.
Was your dad there?
My dad was there, so his father wasn't there for him, but he was there for me and my siblings. So he made up.
Like, where's there though? Somebody at my house? I'm trying to figure out.
I mean,
I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
I know what you mean.
Tell me what.
Right.
Tell me what it was for you. When I say, was your dad there? How does that register for you?
I think I knew he was at it all times. Well, a lot of times, and he used to go. We spent time with each other sometimes. So to me, he was there. But I feel like some people, daddy who there, and still ain't there like somebody who ain't there, because if you're not there here, like my family partied all the time. So even when they was there,
He wasn't present.
they never was there, but he was there when he was there. Like, if that make any sense?
No,
Understand?
Yeah.
I understand.
Nah, I feel
but,
that.
what you're saying.
Sit down. Come
feel
sit
I
down.
will say this.
I'm so glad you said that.
Yeah.
First of all, I'm gonna get some of this rice first.
Nobody's gonna be the perfect father. Nobody's gonna be the perfect parent. Nobody's gonna be the better parent. Like even in the household, like all that, who you love more? Cut that out. Cause now you training the child.
Social media.
Right.
Stuff.
You training the child to say, now I can pick and choose who I want to be with more. Or if this person don't allow me to do something, I'm gonna go to a father. I'm gonna go to mommy.
But that's manipulation though. Like when you got two separate households. Right. I grew up in two separate households. Now I'm raising a child in two separate households.
Yeah, how do you deal with it?
So I know what you're doing. So I gotta like put myself in my daughter's shoes.
Right.
She only 8, so she gonna try it. I'm not gonna get upset at her for trying it. You gonna try it, you're gonna bump your head. I'm gonna put a little ice on there, and I'm gonna tell you why this not gonna work. And then I'm gonna show you what can work. You ain't gotta manipulate me versus your mom or your mom versus me. That's to get what you need.
That's the part. I was a manipulative child.
You see what I'm saying?
So I'm talking about I used to get in trouble when my Uncle Chunk had died. and then get out of trouble, they be like, what's wrong with you acting out like, uncle? I miss him. So I know how children play them games too. So it's like, you know.
And then that's when you whoop.
Oh, I ain't want to say this on camera, but.
I mean, we grown. That was wrong with
At a
discipline.
young age, my children, they listen to me. I got 10 of
See,
them.
but
Wait,
see,
up. You got how many kids?
Down by
man
the
still
river- down by the
manipulating.
riverside.
That's what's going on. He's populating and manipulating.
I was down.
How many?
I got 10. So
You and your girl.
I'm a,
10 kids.
me and my girl. Come on, Kirk. Down by the riverside.
What that mean?
Yes.
Nah. My dad had a lot of kids. I got a lot of kids. So I had 7 kids by the time I was 22. And what
Damn.
happened?
You don't miss, my boy, 22.
But I'm asking though, so you and your girl decided to have a lot of kids.
What religion are
You
you?
saying your girl? That nigga got like 7 baby mamas. If he got 10, he got about 4. Damn. At 22, you had 7 kids. We finna see what's finna how many baby mamas and shit. Cause I know somebody gonna ask.
Yeah. No, I got a lot of baby mamas.
Oh, okay.
Well,
okay.
The queen of the children, because they don't like when I say that.
Facts.
Queen of the children.
Y'all stop saying baby mama.
You gotta say queen of the children. I say queen of the children.
Now, was this by choice? Like, did you like? Do you have non-traditional relationships with these women?
Oh yeah, most of them stay close around me. One of the mothers of my kids, she stay in Kansas City, but most of them they stay right around my house. So it's like they got keys to my house. You know,
All 7 got keys to your house.
Running like
I
a
only
king.
got 5 baby mamas.
And all
Only, nigga.
of them have keys.
Only.
Well, because they got the most kids. It's 3 and 3.
Beef and
They
stars,
kids,
though.
they kids stay with me.
Even the stars.
Okay.
Hold on now.
Okay.
How does
I'm
that
with
work?
Kirk.
They kids stay with me, huh? Them ain't your kids, nigga.
5 of them have keys to the house.
2 of them, because they
You
got
say they stay with me? They kids
Yeah.
stay with me? Is that what he said?
they got the most kids. It's 3 and 3.
Beef and
They
stars,
kids,
though.
they kids stay with me.
Even the stars.
Okay.
Hold on now.
Okay.
How does
I'm
that
with
work?
Kirk.
Huh?
How does that work? No, all seriousness.
No, for real.
If separate baby mamas got the key, because
I'm gonna just eat.
like I got a key lock on my door, right? A combination code. I know who got the code, and I still get paranoid.
It's
both-
literally
if I had
always
one
something.
baby
I'm
mama-
talking about headset, man. It's not coming
Is
on.
it? But the spirit of the house is intact
always
though.
Oh, it's a beautiful spirit.
That's why.
None of
Okay.
these
Gotta
motherfuckers
keep-
ass
Because the kids are there, so I can't take everybody to school. So their mom got open access. She might come watch one of my kids. She might come watch Zarya clothes because she let her clothes pile up. So it's basically like a community, and it was
Family structure.
it could have been an ugly situation, but I feel like
And Rocky, if you in chat, tell him and say something about across the way
Honestly,
ever,
it was
man.
really Jesus. I tell everybody, no matter what situation you in, we all gonna put ourselves in the mess.
My headset
I'm
is
just
not coming
straightforward
on,
about my
still
mess.
working.
You know, and my sins turned into wins. Because
Hold on. Let's let that marinate.
White.
That's good right there. It's because as humans, sometimes we really do try to quantify sins. You know what I'm saying? We try to make one sin this, another sin that, but the truth is, I love how you said that because, like, we're all sinners.
oh yeah, for sure.
And need a grace every day.
For sure.
Brother, if you knew my sins, you know what I mean? It's like I don't ever want anyone to think that because you do something for a living that you just all right. It's like, bruh, you know, there is a need for God's grace on my life, just like need of your life every day. So your level of transparency and vulnerability is very impressive as a black man.
Because it sent me to child support to make you go find them. So,
Courtroom. Like being in that courtroom.
I don't know nothing about
You know, see,
Let me open that for you.
no, I got it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I got it. But see,
Pray for a drink of water too?
huh?
You pray for a drink of
Man,
water?
just
man, he was on my show, and that's the first time I see somebody pray for
no, this
water.
me.
Listen, I pray for food.
Yeah, this me.
I ain't never prayed for no liquor gang. I ain't gonna let that do.
So watch this.
got 10 kids about
Yeah.
Said he showing off for Kirk.
10 kids. 10 kids will make it, man. It'll make you. But I'm gonna be honest though. What I learned by having my kids, every time I put them first, my life elevates.
Wow.
And I had to learn how to put them first by putting myself first. Because I had to put me first.
Put you first.
I had to put me first. Because I feel like you only could love somebody as much as you love yourself. So I feel like if my daddy and my mama them was doing a lot of other things in life, I'm like, they only could give their love. They were giving me their love. But they love just, if I got $500, I can't give you $1,200 unless I go put myself in debt. And I feel like when you borrow your debt from yourself, that's what create anxiety, stress, which allow diseases to be more prone in your body. So I feel like you only can love somebody much you love yourself. And once I start putting myself first, getting into the word and all this, I learned how to put my kids first, and that's when my life elevated. And I feel like my parents, I don't have nothing against them because they didn't know. They was trying. I remember my mom, right, some month before she passed, she was trying everything to find that. She was going to church and everything, but she didn't know. The only thing you had to do is put yourself first.
I have a different mentality.
Okay, share with me yours.
No, for real.
I don't ever put my kids first. Right, and it's different. I've been with my wife since I was 18. So we've been with each other since we was kids.
And how old were you when you got married?
Yeah, I was 26 when I got married.
Okay, so you started 18 and got married?
18, 8 years together.
So y'all had a beautiful opportunity to just be friends for a while.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
And I learned through that process that if I try to put myself first as the father, right? Let's be honest, all of us as men will sit here and be like, I'm the man, I'm the leader of the household, right? How could I be the leader and put myself first? That's not what leaders do. Like in my family, my grandfather, Army guy, didn't say much. But one thing I knew, he was putting everybody before himself. Like my grandmother came first, the kids came, and then my grandfather took care of himself. My father did the same thing. And what I learned in life is the more I focused on my partner, the mother of my children, and I made sure she was good, she was able to reciprocate that. And then when my kids saw it, they were able to see like, oh, that's what a living, loving relationship looks like. They were now involved in our relationship the same way. We speak honestly and open in real time. Any issues my kids have, they have the confidence to come to me because they've seen that their mom can come to me and I'm not gonna be like,
It's a safe
so it's a safe space. So for me,
Yeah.
as a father, it's like, you know what, I wanna
I fucking hate ads, bro. That was good. That was getting good.
create a space where everybody knows that they safe.
But you know where that comes from? I'm just hearing both sides, right?
W chef, W bartender.
All of our stories are different.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? We're all
And that's what's good about this, man.
is on a different level. Wayne is doing it the right way when it comes to people with different multiple partners, correct? There is a blueprint for love.
What you mean by that? A blueprint for
A
love?
blueprint for love when it's saying, first of all, you gotta find Jesus. Jesus is love.
I like where you're going with
You see what I'm saying?
And I would think it's crazy.
Because everybody is doing what they're supposed to do
yeah,
because
yeah.
they're leading off with love. You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely, I agree with you
So,
on that.
we got 3 different households. Stay with me. I'm finna make 3 different points. But
Walk it out, Doc. Walk it out, Doc.
We got many people with different baby mamas and different baby fathers.
Okay.
There's a way to find love within all
Absolutely.
those units
Absolutely.
where y'all can prosper together.
Let me tell you what is amazing, man. But what is amazing? Because how old are you?
I'm 33.
See, now what is amazing is that, now I'm the OG at tables now, which is wild to me. But now I'm the only guy at the table who didn't have his father. So I did not have a father. Didn't have a father, didn't have a mother. And so I was adopted. And then even the lady that adopted me really didn't want me. And so all I knew was the rejection of not being accepted.
Understandable.
So when I hear you guys talk with the level of confidence and even fluidity, like y'all have a level of confidence to even see life different, to see relationships different. And there's no space for me to judge you. It's just space for me to be able to go, man, I wish I would have had the same type of beginning. Because I do believe that the reason why y'all are so confident to think differently is because you had a man somewhere
Facts.
in your
My
life.
dad.
Yeah.
My dad.
Yeah. And you can't deny that.
That's real.
I tell everybody, bro, like growing up, people have action figures or sport figures or heroes. I ain't want to be like Mike. I want to be like my dad.
Me too. Me too.
see it.
That is a fact.
That's crazy.
Your dad was around?
Yeah, my dad was
Your
around.
mom and dad is married?
Yeah.
You know what's beautiful about, because, me and you talk off camera.
He doing
Yeah.
the same thing.
And me and him cool. for real. And I realized what it is. If somebody come from that type of background, I feel like you a vessel to how a relationship should go. You see, I'm coming from the streets, so it's different. You know what I'm saying? My mom and dad ain't home.
Yeah.
So, you know, coming out the streets, it's a little.
And bro, let me tell you, I don't think what you're doing is wrong.
Oh, no. That's what I'm saying. We both.
Yeah, we both agree.
Like, if somebody, it's a video that went viral when the guy was saying, like, only way you cure a disease is a disease.
Yes,
The guy
I
on
seen
there
that.
was like, so basically, like, and I think that's why my fan base is I got the church in the hood, because I understand both sides. But I'm like, man, when you come from the streets, it's nobody never understand what that poverty in the streets.
I'm gonna tell you why
That goes back to what I was trying to say earlier.
The love,
was
Lito.
The love.
The love, yeah.
Our stories are different.
Yes.
But the love is still there.
How you show up cause I feel like how you show up with love when
Because-
there's also like it can be some things that knock that love
Poverty.
off, or like
life.
it can throw your psyche off a little bit, right?
What do you mean?
Love.
Like,
How you
okay,
show up for love?
I learned how to show up with love for my daughter's mother through obstacles that we went through the courtroom,
Right.
right?
Right.
It was rocky,
Right.
very rocky, but we go through that, and 3 years later, you know, my daughter's 8 now, so it took us 3 years to get to a point where we could show up with love and putting the pride to the side. I think be helping that love.
Because you know what it is, like, we don't know each other for real. We jumped into a serious situation that's gonna have us together for the rest of our life. I don't know you after 3-4 months.
And
I have to learn you.
Sometimes,
I
like
was
for me,
cool.
I had to get
man.
to know her because she sent me the picture that she was pregnant.
That's what I'm. Now I gotta know you.
I do. We getting ready for a Super Bowl.
Right.
But are we
I'm
answering
on a
your
high.
question?
From a pregame to a Super Bowl.
I'm on a high.
But Luke, are we answering your question? Like you asked the question. I want you to answer it.
I want to answer it, I think.
Okay, go ahead.
And this is a big part that men don't want to talk about. We all got to use better discernment before we lay down with these women.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Let's let that marinate. Come on. Let's let that
We sit on
marinate.
this side for a reason.
But I understand. No, when I look at his relationship, I'm like, man, I really follow you. I'm like, man, that's beautiful.
Me too.
No,
Yeah. That's a W, man.
it is beautiful.
And
what you have.
coming from certain places, we really wish, like, no, I wish. I'm like, no, I wish I would have grew up
Yeah.
in a certain.
And your
environment.
daddy taught you that, though, right?
If I'm being honest, no.
Who taught you that?
So I got a brother. My brother's 2 years younger than me, right?
What if you can create
bet
your
I know where
own
you're gonna go
website
with
by
this.
saying, this is what I want? With Wix, you can.
He got 4 kids now, 2 different baby mothers. Grew up in the same house that I did. You know, didn't get married until he met his third woman now that he's married to, right? And I don't want to put my brother out there, but I even had to learn how to have empathy for my brother in the same house. Because I used to look at my brother like, bro, you grew up like me. Why are you making such poor decisions? Then I had to think about it. Me and my brother grew up latchkey kids. Both my parents worked. So my parents was out the house. I got up. I got my brother ready for school. We went to school. I picked him up from school. We got home. My parents didn't get home till 7 o'clock. Me and my brother raised each other in the house. You know what I'm saying? I was in the streets, but I wasn't a street kid. I was in the streets, but I still go do my Rubik's Cube and stuff. My brother was in the streets.
Yeah.
So his life was curated by Flatbush Avenue and Tennis Court, where he grew up. Mine grew up at Andrews Huddy Junior High School with more artistic kids. So I feel like my life was curated by what I saw a lot of times on television because I looked up to things, right? So just like Lou said, I looked up, my first film I ever saw was Boys in the Hood. And I watched how much trauma came from that movie, right? And I remember it was the scene where Doughboy's mom had 2 kids, 2 different baby fathers, and she treated one different than the other. And I remember saying to myself young, like, yo, I hope nobody ever treats my kid differently because...
It's a fucking fact, boy.
Like, wait a minute, if I just married a woman I'm having kids with, I don't have to worry about other people. That's really was the impetus for me. My dad never sat down and said, you need to stay with one woman, and I watched them, but it was the things I watched. And then, not for nothing, I met my wife, and she was like, I want to do this with you.
Sounds like your father, but it sounds like your father taught you about what he did more than what he said.
Him and my grandfather.
That's what I'm saying.
They were good examples, like great examples.
Yeah. And so now let me ask you guys, first of all, did we answer your question?
Yeah.
No, we never finished.
What was the question? What was the question?
He said, how do you leave with
Yeah, I
love?
got deep. I
How
forgot
did
the
you go?
He
question.
said, how do you leave with love when you got some women who going through these things? And that's when I said we have to use better discernment
Right.
before we lay it down.
Right.
And that was my answer to
What was
you.
your question?
No. Maybe I was asking and answering.
Did you drink some of that stuff?
No. This is water. And I prayed over it. Right.
Think about it.
Okay.
You got sons?
I got a daughter.
Okay, you don't have sons. You have sons?
I have a son.
You have a son. You have sons, right?
I have two.
Two have twos, right? So let's answer this
The
question.
alcohol.
Yes.
Oh no.
You all right?
I want some tea.
Yeah. Let's get him something
Yo,
non-alcoholic.
give me some for
Yeah. Let's
Yeah.
get some Kool-Aid. We got Kool-Aid.
give me some for
I tell you
children
about
church.
what you talking about.
For
Children church.
How both of y'all was in the same house. I tell people like that, like people like the small town was from the 2 red lights. So it's like when somebody in New York be like, it's the gutter, but at the same time, opportunity is right up the road.
Right.
And the country towns is only one way.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why every black person in the small towns knew Donald Trump was gonna win. Cause we knew it's a lot of white people that the world don't even pay attention to. Like,
Absolutely, yeah.
They our neighbors. I'm like,
That's the truth.
I'm like, they don't have a chance with
That's
Trump.
a fact.
We got a cut. I'm like, we knew all the cities. Like, I'm like, y'all don't know these. Y'all don't know
Middle
Ashley
America.
and
And they in poverty too.
because in the small towns, we don't get looked at. The only reason I made it was the internet. You ain't going to them real. I'm talking real country towns. I ain't talking about.
I know what you mean.
So
Not Atlanta.
There's one way. Ain't no opportunity. There's one way. All the mothers of my kids, they didn't have a chance. Now they are good parents now. They, you know what I'm saying? They are. When I say if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be able to be where I'm at. But I knew their parents. I knew our parents. We was not getting out of there.
So let me show this then. Let's when it comes to the fear that you've ever had, that whatever mistakes or whatever inside of you that was not right or fully together, have you had to deal with the fear of you're afraid you're gonna pass that on to your
Hell yeah. Sorry.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
I said people.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie, bro.
I'm scared. I'm not scared. I fear. I have this thing where I'm telling myself, so maybe if you see me, don't take this the wrong way. But I'm saying like,
Love this guy.
I have when it comes to relationships with a woman, right? 4, 5 months, the honeymoon stage, I'm good to go. Then that fear comes because I seen womanizing growing up. That's all I know for real. Every cousin, uncle, auntie, everybody got a baby father, baby daddy, they got a new boyfriend, this, that, and the third. So everything is just a circus.
So yeah.
So I don't really know what a stable home looks like. Remember when we talked about, I used to see that from my coaches growing up. I used to be like, dang, Dad, I don't really want to come home. Like, I like this over here.
Yeah.
This man come down the steps. Hey, baby, we good? They making breakfast. We eating breakfast at the
Got a
table.
robe in newspaper.
Like this, but like a real family.
Yeah.
It's just like,
Yeah.
Real.
dang.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So it's like I want to get that to my daughter. Obviously, I couldn't do that with her mom, right? So my next thing is, okay, the next woman that's gonna be with me locked in.
Right.
I want to have that household, but it's the fear of, am I gonna mess up like they did?
You know how you get rid of that fear? Tell your kids your fears. Tell them.
Facts.
I spoke to my dad for the first time a couple weeks ago. I told this
What happened?
on the
You
interview.
don't
I tell you exactly what happened. I was driving. My dad was in the passenger seat. My mom was in the back. And I was driving. My mom said something, and my father snapped at her a little bit. And now I'm in my car. So I'm like, hey man, you just had a tantrum for no reason. You have to chill out. And then my father don't play no games. He looked right at me and said, hey, that's still my wife, and you still my son. And in that moment, I was just like, okay, this is gonna go somewhere, and I don't want it to go. And I said, we'll talk about it later. So we went to the house, sat down in the kitchen for 3 hours. And my father sat down and told me every fear he had and the things he was concerned about from the time he had me. That's what gave me the realization, like, wait a minute, you got married at 21, had me within a year, had my brother 2 years later, so you were 23, 24. I know my grandfather didn't sit down and tell you how to be a dad or be a husband. So I said, how did you figure it out? He said to me, I'm still trying. And I said to myself, like,
wait a minute, bro. He said that to you.
this is why I'm saying you need to tell your sons.
But you got to tell me As a son, how did that level of transparency and honesty hit you that your daddy said that?
My heart got full because here I am at 40 with 4 kids feeling the same way. And to hear that my father, who was my superhero, had the same fears was like, wait a minute.
Bro, what
so
a
I
gift.
don't, like, because think
Bro,
about
what
it.
a gift. What a gift.
I want to be as perfect as my dad is. My father raised 2 Division I athletes. My sister went to school, 90 average. I never seen my father cry. My father was just a man. He wore the same shoes every single day, bought my mom 3 cars before he bought his own car, bought me and my brother and my sister our cars before he bought anything for himself. That's my superhero. So when my superhero says to me, I was scared. There was times I wanted to leave. Now I'm like, shit, that was me.
Yeah,
So now he looks more human to me than he ever looked because he was being honest. And what that did was give me the confidence to say, wait a minute, so all this time you thought you were fucking up and I turned out like this.
Yes.
I was like, I need to tell my sons early what my fears are.
For real.
And that's why I was telling you, tell your kids, man, because the minute they see you as human and no longer see you as this esoteric creature that has to be perfect, they'll come to you and talk to you about their fears. And then you can help guide them. Because that goes back to what we talked about with discernment, right? I got 4 sons, right?
Hey guys, so why should you call and get a business credit consultation? Well, I'm gonna make a short video here. We have been at this for 20 years and we've got some very competent people here. And a lot of times people are shocked. If you've been in business and you have a corporation that's 1, 2, 3.
If a certain type of woman comes in, we as older gentlemen now can look and say, son, that's not the one for you, right?
Yeah.
But him at 13, 14 won't know. Us at 13, 14, nobody checked us or told us. So we ended up with women.
My dad told me.
Oh, your pops told you?
He told me. I have. He said, you're going to have a bunch of kids.
See?
You're going to mess around. But he didn't tell
We
me
didn't
like
get to
that.
that conversation.
The way God made it, never get it. You know what I mean? The only thing I can do to make up for it is try to not eat chicken. Because that's why you became vegan. I'm like, so now I be like, I got to at least do that. But this is discipline. I feel like it takes discernment not to drink alcohol. You know the food killers. Everybody got a grandma foot cut off. So I'm like, hey, that's the only thing I can make up for that. That's true.
Everybody hopping around.
Yeah. So it's like, a woman? I'm like, God, hey. Yeah, so I'm like, we all know we died. We all know we died.
Think about soul food.
Yeah.
We celebrated. We celebrated.
So everybody, Big Mama.
So I made bad service, and I knew I was making a bad decision, but I didn't. I'm gonna be honest. That's why I never judge a crackhead.
So what's your biggest fear as a father?
If not, then I hope that God don't let me go. That's it. Because I'm like, I don't seen too much. Like, I don't see too much. Because if you get this thing right, then this thing gonna be a problem. You get this thing right, I'm like, God, I'm telling you right now, hold me. Now, he's sitting a woman in my life. Now I'm like, okay, I got married before. I got married because I'm like, I want to finally do. When I made my first, I made like 100,000 one weekend. You know what I'm saying? Doing the come to clubs. I was in Texas, and I was like, the mother of the kids I was with, I say, let's get married, because I was waiting to get right financially to finally do it, right?
Yeah.
We went and got married in the courthouse that week, but what happened was, I done created this situation with all these other mothers of my kids. I'm living like this, and they living like that. Say, that ain't fair to that child.
Right.
So I got to get out of this and make this right and put them all on the same, everybody living equal. So when they leave,
I love
and that's when things changed, but I had already messed up, and I already knew. I had 7 kids at 22, so I'm like, hey, God, you already know what time it is, and I don't know if I'm really gonna stop, because these women still look good to me.
Hold on. Now,
That ain't
Never
stop.
gonna stop.
But I think one thing that helps me, or that helped me grow with my daughter's mother, is that, like my dad, he told me, he said, bro, I know what you did to get that kid, right? You had to put something in there. He said, what you gonna do to survive this co-parenting thing? You gotta take that out of there. So you can't be, yeah. He said you can't be a child support company. You can't pay with that.
Wow.
Can't pay with that.
Wow.
Can't pay with that.
This nigga watching and telling me
That's
watch that.
a fact. I did that too, and I did that one time. The mother of my kids had moved close by. You know what I mean? When I was with my husband. And I was so happy the kids were close, I said, I'm never dealing with her again. You know what I mean? She ended up with another dude. Now, the situation
ego.
crazy. Okay, what if your baby mama end up with somebody who ain't good for her?
Oh, okay.
So it was like, don't matter what the situation is, man. Ain't number one situation, just please God help me, because don't matter what, there's no fix.
What about you, DC? What's your fear?
I really don't have a fear. You know what I'm saying? Because when you walk in fear, you give stuff light. You see what I'm saying? So now we got time to fix it and correct it.
I'm just so impressed with the maturity of y'all at y'all's age.
You know what I'm saying? Like I can't give nothing that much power
Hey, boy,
over.
What you just said. You need to say that again.
You can't have like. I understand people may be afraid or anxious because they have to go through something.
So what? Okay. So
see what I'm
what
saying?
what would be your anxiety at times?
I would say now is the mistakes that I can't fix.
That's real.
You know what I'm saying?
Which one you drunk first? Cause everything you saying now, bro.
I got them right here.
But you want,
You know what I'm saying?
Because what he said, and I've been saying this for like the last 6 months. I've been telling everybody, fear and faith is the same. Whatever you fear gonna happen, and whatever you got faith in. When that's supposed to say in the Bible, say if you think a lion outside gonna eat you, it probably is. Yeah. So that's why when I do certain deals in business, I don't let scared money don't make no. You scared about your money. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm like, I ain't putting that in there, cause you're not finna have this.
That's like one foot in, one foot out.
So this is, and let me go ahead and ask this, and this is really y'all fault. This is y'all fault because y'all have established this type of aesthetic at the table.
I'm so glad to be here at your table. You don't.
I know. Oh man.
You're OG.
Man,
wow, man.
You don't know what you did. You don't know what you did for me, brother. When I told you that was part of that, like, cause you know sometimes people people in the streets, the church will judge you.
Yes, sir.
And my mama, like some months before she passed, she was trying to find God, and then the only music she would listen to is your music. You know what I'm saying? So I be listening to Down by the Riverside, man.
Wow.
To get me through a lot of things because you don't know what your music did.
Wow.
You was the first one that you brought people together in a way that the church couldn't.
You brought our generation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You brought us. I don't know if you knew what you was doing.
Yeah.
But
You got street niggas listening to your music.
Stomp came into church.
You are they
Our
preacher.
whole demographic.
It made church cool.
was in there.
Mm-hmm.
Like some people think church ain't.
It's like, oh, we can walk in there
I
without
talk
being
about you. I talk
And
about
not
you
be
on
judged.
stage, man.
Be
I use one of your
yourself.
songs, and I want to know how much you gonna charge me for the rights of it. Because I want to ask you that when I came here. Okay?
I agree with him. Matter of fact, I'll let you answer your question, because I got a question for you, though.
Well, go ahead because I'm just humbled by these statements. Go ahead.
I do have a question because I don't have grown kids. And I've seen that you publicly have gone through stuff with
Yes.
your grown kids.
Yes.
And I just want to ask, and I know how I would deal with shit, but like, how did you deal with people having opinions about, how old is your son?
He just turned 37.
So you're 36, you have 36 plus pregnancy, 37 years of life with this young man.
Yeah.
And people decided to have an opinion over what they heard for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Can you please tell me how you dealt with that? Because I ain't gonna lie to you, bro.
In the ad on top, you're a God-fearing man.
Yes.
People are putting you on a pedestal where they
You know
feel
how
like
it
you
is.
have no mistakes.
Yeah.
You can't say nothing like you're not human.
Right, you're not human. You know that, bro. You know that. How did you deal with that? Because, man,
You know, and the sad part is,
AI writes my copy in seconds, but resizing a video still takes 3 tools and a mild breakdown. Introducing Content Lab, an advanced AI-powered tool designed to streamline and automate video content repurposing tasks. Turn one video into multiple platform-ready formats in seconds, no editing skills, no back and forth, and no budget drain. Don't ditch good content.
I'm still dealing with it. That's the sad part. You know, that was just an opportunity for the public to see what, as a family, we've dealt with. And I love him. I love him. He's my firstborn. I mean, that's my firstborn son. And you know, we've had many rough days. And he's got so much potential, bro.
can I tell you something? As much as I love my father, you know, me and my father didn't talk for a long time. I couldn't wait to get out of my father's house. And this is part of the reason why I wanted to ask you that question, but also, people don't know what it's like to live with their dad.
Yeah.
I lived with my father, and my father was not.
It's different.
It is. Like, it's hard as a man growing up,
My dad
and you...
left at 6, but I kept going back and forth, and there was a time where it was like, he's not there, but he got all
Yeah,
time.
they
I don't
are
know.
a lot.
So I'm thinking
They are a lot.
he don't want to be with me, not knowing he got a brain disease.
Right.
So I'm thinking I'm being neglected. Now I'm going to the streets. I'm thinking I'm following the same path of what we supposed to do, because it's like, oh, this is what's supposed to happen when your father's not here. Oh, this is what's supposed to happen when you ain't got no daddy there. But my daddy was still there. He was being present whenever his brain allowed him to be.
So imagine this. Your father living in the house with you, you think your father don't love you. Because your father's trying to hold you accountable as a man. Your father's trying to tell you the things that you're not doing wrong, and you 18, 19 years old, and you just thinking like, man, you just don't like me. I went through that with my pops. There was years in that house, I lived in the basement by myself. I ain't talked to my brother or my father. Because every time me and my brother met eye to eye, it was a fist fight. And then my pops like, y'all not gonna be fighting in my house. So for lack of a better word, I was like, fuck all y'all.
Yeah.
Like, and then not for nothing. And the reason why I asked that question is because I got 4 sons. I know there's gonna come a point where we're not gonna see eye to eye.
Let me tell you this. I think that the biggest challenge is what he said and what you said. I think that being in church takes away your humanity. So you don't get the opportunity to just be human. You don't have the opportunity to make a mistake, because think about it, most dads make mistakes.
All the time.
They just don't have to make mistakes in front of everyone.
Exactly.
And it was a mistake I made. You know, I mean, how I communicated to him was wrong. You know, I can't justify that. It broke my heart that he did what he did, but it does not still take away from the fact that how I communicated to my son was wrong. And I think that I think that as fathers, there's some things that we have to learn that we will have to live with lips.
Probably go to sleep.
We're not gonna be fixed from everything. Everything ain't gonna be well. Everything ain't gonna be whole. There's some relationships that you gotta walk, and it's gonna be lips, and you know what you gotta do? You gotta win wounded.
You gotta win wounded?
You gotta win wounded. You gotta drag your ass across the finish line, blood dripping, leg broke, and you gotta win wounded. But see, here's the beautiful thing though. The beautiful thing is that when you do your best, God has this dope way of taking them seeds that you plant, and we may not live to see them. We may be gone. But someday, some way, God gonna water them seeds. And the little things that you try to do right, they gonna flourish. Because see, we sometimes want the glory, but instead of always wanting the glory as a parent, let's make sure that we just do enough so that they live the life. If they live the life, then our legacy will continue to live through them.
Bro, that's deep.
Yeah, it is.
It got me a little emotional because after speaking to my dad, like I'm trying to walk with my sons. But it'd be hard though, bro. And I'm gonna tell you why. It goes back to a question you asked earlier. You was like, how do you feel sometimes as a man? Do you feel like you get just due? No. I'm gonna be honest. I be in my house all day. I cook, I clean, I do schoolwork, I take them to track practice, I do everything. Like when it comes to that fatherhood shit, I do everything. And you know what's the first thing people say? You know, how Khadija, she need a break. She got all them boys. and you know, my wife does her fair share. There is no she does more, I do more. We both do. But when you asked about how we feel as fathers, I honestly don't feel like fathers get enough just due. Because I'm just as guilty, yo.
Let's talk about that.
My father was dead. And the minute I got an opportunity, I thank my mom for everything. And I thank my mom in everything in part because my father was the one holding me accountable. So during the time, it was, and I'm just being honest, it was almost like I'm not even going to thank him. And I didn't realize how that could be coming across to him.
I feel that way often. It's because my wife is such an amazing mother.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like when you be busting your butt, hopping these planes, and you know what I'm saying, you tired, but you gotta go make that check. You gotta, like all my kids graduated college with no bills. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm gonna take care of everything, but a lot of times it does feel like, like yours is like, oh, thank you, but mama. And I want to know how y'all feel about that.
I'm dealing with that right now with my daughter. Like, I'm on the road. First of all, I live in Atlanta, right? My daughter lives in New York. I'm in New York probably twice a month, outside of work. You see what I'm saying? I gotta travel I just was in Green Bay for the draft. As soon as the draft ended, I tell them, I got fly me to New York.
Yeah.
I got to pull up on my baby, right? When I go there, I make home in that city, in New York. Hotel room, we do all the things. I'm taking her to school, whatever. I'm busting my ass to get through these planes to you to make sure that you know daddy's present. And some days, sometimes, I'm not getting that credit. You know what I'm saying? It's still not enough. Well, even from, me and her mother, we're on good terms, but sometimes it's like, oh, but, yeah, that was cool, Lou, but can you sit in this? I'm gonna do that, because as a man, I'm gonna make sure everything's good. But sometimes, it don't hurt to just be like,
Well, let me ask
you're doing good.
Who you want credit from?
Remember college? Now college is over, and here comes your student loan debt. Is private student loan debt?
My daughter.
That's who I want credit
Yeah, I don't care.
That's
I don't
the
care
thing
about
that
anybody else.
bothers me, man.
Sometimes I get it.
You know what I'm saying?
Sometimes it's
And
like,
I got good kids. Now, don't get me wrong. My kids are wonderful. But it is interesting that we're all talking about. Sometimes it feel like that they kind of detour around us.
Yeah, because you're supposed to as a man.
I mean,
as
but
a father, you're
I feel like
supposed to.
we all done it. Like, 'cause I even done it. Like, my mom, like my daddy stayed in the hood too, but my mom stayed in Adderville, my daddy stayed in Bankhead. I always thought my daddy was a little bit better because maybe my daddy was a little bit more financial, stable than my mother. But if I ever got mad over here, I'm gonna go to my dad's house. But I know I ain't gonna be over that long because I can only last over here for 2-3 days. It's
gonna get
I'm
the
only
same.
coming over here to get this satisfaction. It's
Right,
like,
absolutely.
Yeah, it's better living.
Absolutely.
I'm going back over here where I can do what I want.
Wow.
Because even though it's better living over here, it's like I'm in here by myself. And it's not saying that he's not watching me. This is just the way that he handled his business. I sat right there and watched him. Now that I'm grown, I'm like, my daddy had a life. He had a purpose. I was just so happen to be his child.
Wow.
That's deep too, though, because a lot of people don't realize that.
Wow.
As a father, I do have a whole.
You
other
got a
thing that
whole
Yeah.
purpose.
I feel that's
Hold on.
I was just so happy to be his child.
You know how?
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. That's
That's deep.
That's good.
That is good.
You know, as a matter of fact, let me ask you this then. With that, let's talk about the other woman in our lives.
as far as,
Here it come. Here. Hold on, Lou. Hold on to yourself, Lou. Here it come.
you got me nervous.
You ready, Lou? Huh? Because all five of us, all five, married or single, we still got this issue.